بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وأعنا على العمل بما علمتنا. O Allah, we ask you to teach us what benefit us and let us benefit from what we learn and increase our knowledge and let us practice what we learn. Today, inshallah, we will continue our series of halaqas knowing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is lesson number 34. Today, inshallah, we are going to talk about one of Allah's name and Allah's character, Al-Latif. Al-Latif, the gentle, the kind, the subtle. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran Kareem, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألا يعلم من خلق وهو اللطيف الخبير. Doesn't he know who he is created? He is the gentle, the kind, the subtle, the all-aware. And also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, لا تدركه الأبصار وهو يدرك الأبصار وهو اللطيف الخبير. No vision can perceive him while he perceives all visions. He is the gentle, the all-knowing, all-aware. Al-Latif in Arabic means something very gentle. You don't feel it. It's there. It's with you, but you don't feel it. It's so gentle, kind, nice in the linguistic in Arabic. And it's one of Allah's characters. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in this life, we don't see Him. We don't hear Him. We don't feel Him. But we know Him with our minds. And He's with us all the time, anywhere, any place. He is so gentle. Even though He's with you all the time, but you don't feel Him. Imagine somebody decided to stay with you a couple of days. Not saying a word, just walking beside you. After the end of one day, he said, man, you go find somewhere else to do something. You just get tired of him. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with us all the time. You sleeping, eating, vacationing, working, praying, whatever you're doing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with you. Even though you don't see Him, you don't hear Him, you don't feel Him. So this is one understanding, one meaning of this name. One of the things when you read the Quran and you get to this name, you remember that Allah is with you in a gentle, kind way. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is kind and gentle with His creation. He will move you from one state to another state gently. Whatever it is, emotional state, physical state, whatever state it is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala moves people gently from one state to the other. Another meaning of Al-Latif is that He knows the details of everything and what's hidden. Because to be so gentle and kind that He's with you all the time without you seeing Him, hearing Him or feeling Him, He has to know all the details about you. So that's another name of Al-Latif. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this name Al-Latif, we don't see Him or hear Him or feel Him, is more of for us, this life is a test. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would show Himself as He is the Creator, there is no meaning of testing us. Because everybody's going to obey. When you drive your car and there is a police car behind you, very few people will try to speed or drive over the speed limit. Why? Because he's there. But when there is no police around, this is the real test. Would I follow the rules or not? This is one of the reasons that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not show Himself for us here. Simply like, if you have a store, or if you suspect somebody is stealing from you, you don't sit in your store and the money box in front of you and the people who are working for you. Nobody's going to get close to that box to steal. To test these people's honesty and whether they are stealing or not, you have to disappear for a moment or so and watch while they are not watching you, to see if they're truly honest. So this is one of the reasons that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not show Himself in this life. And already the true believers wants to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Musa alayhi salam, he wants to see Allah. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, a story about the mountain. Our physical character in this life cannot withstand His majesty, subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the true believer, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be all of us from them, they will have the chance to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the hereafter. And that's probably one of the biggest rewards, is much bigger than Jannah. We learn about Him in this life and all these, the Quran, everything, and you pray. Don't you want to see Him? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promises true believers that they will see Him in the hereafter. Another manifestation of this name, Al-Latif, the gentle, the kind, is manifested in His creation. So this is not just a word in the Quran, sit there. It's manifested into real life applications in His creation. Anything you look at. If you have kids, or we all been through the kids process, otherwise we won't be this old. When the kids lose their teeth, start wiggly a little bit and then wiggly more. Sometimes you look at him, I myself get hurt because I know if my tooth was wiggling like this, I would be hurting. But subhanAllah, for the kids, they wiggle it and they play with it and they wiggle it, and all of a sudden, out, gently and nicely and kindly. They lose their teeth. While we adults, if something happened, pain is, some people know how bad it is. Gentle, kind. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The air we breathe. We don't see, we don't feel, sometimes we don't taste, but it's all around us. Without it, we will die. And then Allah, sometimes they send these nice winds, you can feel it so gently. The same wind can be turned into hurricanes and disasters. Gentle creation. The water has no taste, has no color. But when you're really thirsty, that's probably the only drink that will satisfy you. All other drinks, it tastes good, but really the water is the one. No taste. Even though it doesn't have taste, doesn't have color. It's so nice and gentle, and you feel it going down. Even in this modern science era, it's gentle. You know, if you have one of these devices, phones, well, you get text messages, phone calls, whatever, all these things. And sometimes it gets annoying. So when you turn it off, it's peace and quiet and gentle. Yet, all these electromagnetic waves that comes to the phone, it's all around you. All these text messages are coming to your phone, but you don't feel them. You don't hear them. Unless you turn your phone on and you want it to. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created these electromagnetic waves for us, so gently and kindly. So only if we want to, we can hear it and we can listen to it. It's modern science. So these are real life applications. Always we need, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in the Quran, أَلَا يَتَفَكَّرُونَ أَلَا يَعْقِلُونَ. Let them think, use their mind every day and everything around you to remind you about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even these devices that we use every day and we get annoyed with. If Allah did not teach us how to make this, if Allah did not create the materials to do this, Allah did not create the physical, electrical laws to run this, we won't have this. So it doesn't have to be a tree or a bird. All these devices, electronic devices and advancement in science, your car, everything should remind you of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another meaning of al-Latif, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gently and kindly, in a subtle way, He knows everything about each one of us. He sees you, He hears you, He knows everything about you. What you say and what you don't say. What you think. These ideas that cross your mind, thoughts, you are the only one who knows about it because you're not talking about it. Even people don't know you're thinking about it. Rest assured with this name, Al-Latif, the gentle, Allah gently and kindly knows about these thoughts without you feeling it. And He is with you, as we said, anywhere, any place, all the time. Even when you go to sleep, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never sleeps. He is with us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُمْ وَاللَّهُ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ بَصِيرٌ. So Allah with you whenever you are, and He is fully aware, all seeing, all knows everything about what we do. Another meaning of Al-Latif, it actually apply very important concept we need to understand and apply on a daily basis. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created this universe. If you think someone else did it, please prevent the proof and present the evidence, logically and intellectually. That's what Allah says in the Quran. Present your proof. And nobody can and nobody will. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created this universe for at least two main reasons. Number one, He created this universe that we know and that we are discovering right now is for us to know He exists. Remember, He is Al-Latif. We don't see Him, we don't hear Him, we don't feel Him. So how we know He is there? He created this universe for you, for all of us. So with our mind, this whole creation, including ourselves, has to have a supreme power that brought this into existence. That's a simple, sound, logical mind would say. And who did it? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If someone else do it, let them present themselves with the evidence. So, the number one purpose of this universe is for us to know that Allah exists. That's the number one purpose of this universe. The number two purpose is Allah created this universe for us, to serve us. This whole universe is to serve us. The earth, the sun, animals, plants, everything is to serve us. We, through science, discover His creation, the secret of His creation, the laws that He put in this universe, and we utilize it to serve us. Cars, the phones, whatever you think of it. So that's the number two reason this universe is to serve us. وَسَخَّرَ لَكُم مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. Everything in the skies and the earth is for us, under our, for our service, to serve us. And here comes the issue. The difference between the true believer and the non-believer. The non-believer utilize only part number two. They enjoy the cars and whatever this universe is serving them, they enjoy it without thinking about who brought it to them. The true believer also enjoys the universe, but he is thinking about Al-Latif, the gentle, the one that he can't see, hear, or feel, that He is the one who created all these things for him. So he believes in Him. So the true believer utilize the two purposes. And the number one purpose is the one that the true believers attach to. The non-believers utilize the second purpose for this universe. Just enjoy it without thinking about who is the creator. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the gentle, al-latif, the kind, the subtle, so He is not in a place. He is not surrounded by a place. He is not surrounded by time. He creates time and He creates space. He is not pieces, wahid. He is one. Nothing like Him. So everything we know about this physical world, and you try to imagine, nothing like Him. لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ. So He's not made of parts. He's not, in a certain direction or in a certain place or in a certain time. He creates time. He the one who created time, created space, and created everything. لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ. That's part of the meaning of Al-Latif. So all the thoughts and all the imagination that people said, what he looks like, and Allah simply put it in His book. لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ. Nothing like Him. Bring all the mankind from Adam until the Day of Judgment. Let them sit down, think, dream, imagine, After they finish all these things, you put it aside and say, لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ, nothing like him. Even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His orders for us, do's and don't do, is gentle and kind. He did not ask us to do things that is beyond our capacity to do. And when you can't do it, Allah gives you excuses not to do it. You know, if you're sick and it's Ramadan, you can break your fast. If you don't have enough money to go do Hajj, that's fine. You don't have to. So, Allah knows when we can't do something, and He created the excuses for us to do it. So, in this life, there are certain things, certain position, degrees, status, wealth, that you can't really reach because of limitations. You know, if you want a Harvard degree in nuclear physics, I mean, you have to be really genius. Not everybody can do that. They have requirement and all blah, blah, blah. So not everybody can achieve these earthly things. But to be as close as you can to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and in the status of high in the iman, in the belief in Him, it's everyone can do it. And this is very important. This part of the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, gentle and kind. So you don't say, I have to be in Mecca, I have to be born Arabic, I have to memorize Quran to be in a high status in iman with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you can do that, that's fine. But Al-Bukhari, who wrote the authenticated hadith about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he wasn't really Arabic. There's great scholars in Islam, they're not Arabic. So to attain the degree closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you don't have to have certain things. Allah gave you everything you need to be a true believer and to get the highest places in Jannah. It's a very important concept, because some people say in these days, oh, this time of this era in history, we have to do this. We have to work with interest and riba. The ladies have to not put hijabs. The thing how we have, because this is the way it is. No, that's not. It is the way it is, but rest assured, you can live your life without riba, and you can wear hijab, and you can do other stuff that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala order you to do it. I mean, He created this universe. Don't you think that He knows what's coming? Then He knows that, there'll be an era, the true believer wake up in the morning, he might end up at the end of the day as non-believer, and the other way around. So when He orders to do stuff, rest assured that He gave us the capacity and the power to do it. And gently and kindly. Now, you have to exert some efforts. You can't just have a vacation and be a true believer these days. I mean, you have to spend. But Allah gave you the power to get there. Don't give excuses. Allah did not order us to do something, we can't do it. If we can't do it, He gave us the excuse. Even he give us the excuse to the degree, if you get under pressure and you have to utter and say the word of kufr, of non-believing, you can say it to save your skin, as long as you believe in it in your heart. I mean, he gave you that permission. So he knows. Other gentle thing. He ordered you not to eat one kind of meat. Pork. And if the meat is dead, it's dead. You don't want to eat dead meat. But everything else you can eat. One drink, don't drink alcohol. Everything else, drink, fine. Why you have to insist on the haram thing? Sell them and buy them and drink them. You can live without alcohol and without pork. But so all his orders with do's and don'ts are gentle and kind. And let's not be in the position of saying, well, I really can't do that. Yes, you can. You just don't want to. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created you, created this universe. He knows what's coming. And He gives you the orders, do's and don'ts. You can do it. And not just that. When you follow His way with these gentle orders, I mean, you feel you get the happiness in this life. It's not just the hereafter. It's in this life. It's good for you in this life. And I'm going to say a couple of sentences, and some people might have big question and start screaming. But it's true and it's reality. The areas the non-Muslim succeeded in, the areas, whatever it is, they succeeded in, they only succeeded in because they followed Allah's orders in that area. Only because they followed Allah's way in that area. Not because they believe in Allah. Because they find out that only that way they are going to succeed. It's a fact. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَأَعِدُّ لَهُمْ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُم مِّن قُوَّةٍ وَمِن رِبَاطِ الْخَيْلِ تُرْهِبُونَ بِهِ عَدُوَّ اللَّهِ. Allah in the Quran telling His believers, prepare as much as you can of power. Military power, science power, money power, as much as you can, so your enemy will fear you. What did the non-Muslim country do? What did they do? They followed this ayah. They did the science, they built and studied and built and prepared and prepared. So now other people fear even to talk to them. When the Islamic empire was in its powerful, not too long ago, I can't remember the exact name of the ruler. A ruler, the Imam of Amir al-Mu'mineen, one of the big countries at that time, I don't know if the Romans or the other ones, send to this Muslim ruler a letter telling him that I'm going to stop paying al-jizya, I'm just going to stop paying the taxes that your predecessors put on us, and we are going to attack you and take our whatever away, and we're not going to follow you, because the Islamic empire was in control of that area. So the Islamic ruler sent them a letter back, in the meaning of, it's not what you read it's what you see. Period. And he sent them an army, got him back, captured that ruler, let him back to pay taxes. That's the power. So, in science, read the Quran. Read the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala given His believers an order to look into His creation in every aspect of science, physics, chemistry, biology, zoology, everything. The non-Muslim people did it. So they have power now. Even in the social issues, like some of the laws, like if you do if you lie under oath, or if they find out you cheat on your taxes, there's a big penalties. That's Sharia law. وَيْلٌ لِلْمُطَفِّفِينَ. So the success is because they found out the Islamic way is the one that is going to succeed. Why? Because Allah created this universe and He knows what's best for it. Just like, a manufacturer in a car, it gives you instruction. You follow the instruction, you can drive the car very good. If you don't, it won't. Now, they didn't follow because they believe in Allah, but they found out this is the way to go. Okay? So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Al-Latif, the gentle, the kind, the subtle. And this name is mentioned several times in the Quran. Remember, I can't see Him, I can hear Him, I can feel Him, but He's with me. Gently, kindly. Think about His creation. When you have a nice breeze, when you see your child, his teeth coming out, when you drink a cup of water, everything's so nice and gentle. And always try to use your mind and thinking about everything around you. So to remind you with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.